Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Rajni Chaudhary. Continuing the video lecture series, here in this particular video we will be discussing about overcurrent relays. This particular video is based on what is overcurrent and what are the different overcurrent relays applied to combat the overcurrent situation in the system. The points that will be covered here in this particular video include what is overcurrent protection and the types of overcurrent relays applied for that overcurrent protection. Here we will be discussing the three types of overcurrent relays depending upon the time of operation, that is instantaneous type, definite time and inverse time. Before starting the overcurrent protection, let us discuss about the operating characteristics of a protective relay. Each protective relay is designed in such a way that it responds and operates according to its defined operating characteristics and applied settings. Means each protective relay has its specific operating characteristics, and according to that operating characteristics it acts and achieve the objective of sensitivity, selectivity, reliability and adequate speed of operation. Talking about the basic operating characteristics of protective element, these include overcurrent protection, directional protection, distance protection, differential protection and communication assistant tripping schemes. Overcurrent protection function. In this, the overcurrent element operates or picks up when the input current exceeds a predetermined value. For the directional function, the element picks up for faults in one direction and remains stable for faults in other direction. Means it will be determining the power flow, and with the help of the direction of that power flow, it will operate. Distance protection. In this, by measuring the distance between the relay location and the fault point, the distance protection function element will work. Differential protection function. In this, by measuring the difference of the two actuating quantity, the relay will determine whether a fault has occurred in the system or not. Communication assistant tripping schemes. Here, we use generally this for transmission line protection, where a communication between the two distance relay will decide whether a fault has occurred in the system or not. So these are some of the operating characteristics . Overcurrent and its causes. We all know that whenever a machine is loaded beyond its capacity or a particular element is loaded beyond its capacity, it draws extra amount of current from the supply and therefore overcurrent situation arises. Overcurrent is also referred as excess current. It can also lead to generation of heat as the windings will get overheated and insulation failure plus risk of fire or damage to the equipment is possible in that overcurrent case. Possible causes of overcurrent include short circuit fault, excessive loading, incorrect design of machine or element, or a ground fault. These all lead to overcurrent situation in our power system. Overcurrent protection. The figure represents the basic trip circuit of an overcurrent relay. Here, the relay coils are fed through the CT secondary. Under normal condition, the contacts of circuit breakers are normally closed, whereas the contacts of relay are normally open. When a fault occurs, the CT secondary current will flow into this relay coil. If this current is greater than the pickup value of the relay coil, it will sufficiently energize the relay coil, and in this case the lever associated with the relay will be pulled down and will make the connections like this. Since the circuit is complete, the trip coil will now get energized, which will now pull this plunge which was associated with this towards it, and the contacts of circuit breaker will become open. Hence, the relay operates when a fault occurs and actuates the trip coil of the circuit breaker and isolates the faulty section of the system. Types of overcurrent relay. Depending upon the time of operation, the overcurrent relay can be classified into three: instantaneous type overcurrent relay, definite time overcurrent relay, and inverse time overcurrent relay. There is a special case of inverse time overcurrent relay which will also be discussed here, that is inverse definite minimum time overcurrent relay. We will be studying them one by one. Instantaneous type overcurrent relay. As the name suggests, instantaneous word, the relay operates as soon as the current in the coil gets higher than the pickup setting. As soon as the value of current is greater than its pickup value, a trip command is issued. No intentional time delay is provided here. Whatever the inherent or inbuilt time delay is there in the relay, that only time delay is provided, and no extra time delay is considered for this particular type of relay. Attracted armature type relay shows such type of characteristics. The figure here represents the characteristics of a instantaneous type relay, suggesting IP is the pickup value of the relay. As soon as this pickup value is achieved, a trip command is issued, and if this pickup value is not achieved, then there is no trip command. Definite time overcurrent relay. In this, the word definite suggests that an intentional time delay is provided after crossing the pickup value of the current. Here, a trip output is issued at an exact amount of time after it picks up. Therefore, it has a time setting adjustment and pickup adjustment in this. Attracted armature type relays with time element show such type of characteristics. Inverse time relay. Here, as the name suggests, inverse time, this means that the operating time of relay is inversely proportional to the current. Higher the severity of current, less is the time taken by the relay to operate. Such type of characteristics is generally shown by induction type rotating device. Time of operation inversely varies with the input current. More the current, less will be the time taken. Electromagnetic induction disk type relay shows such type of characteristics. Since the time of operation inversely varies with the input current, severe fault can be cleared in a faster and effective manner. The figure shows the inverse time characteristics of the relay. Inverse definite minimum time relay. also called IDMT relay in short. This relay suggests that the ideal inverse time characteristics cannot be achieved in an overcurrent relay when the CT has saturated. Let us understand this with the help of an example. We have taken an inverse time overcurrent relay, means an overcurrent relay having a feature of inverse time, means the time of operation here will be inversely proportional to your input current. Let the pickup value of this inverse time overcurrent is 5 ampere. When a fault has occurred and the CT secondary current measured is 6 ampere for a particular system current, then in this case, since the 6 ampere current is greater than the pickup value of overcurrent relay, the relay will definitely operate in this case. Let us assume that the time period taken by this overcurrent relay is 2 seconds. Now consider the case when the system current has increased, and as a reciprocation of that, the CT secondary current will also increase. Let us assume the CT secondary, so assumed when the system current has increased is 8 ampere for a particular fault. Since this 8 ampere is also greater than 5 ampere pickup value of your relay, the relay will operate, and let us assume the time period of operation in this case is 1 second. Now as the system current increases, the CT secondary current also increases proportionally. So therefore, when the system current has increased, the CT secondary current when a fault has occurred has measured the 10 ampere current. Since this 10 ampere current is also greater than the 5 ampere current, the relay will operate, and the time period of operation here will be 0.5 seconds. But in this case, the CT becomes saturated. Let us assume that in this case, when the CT secondary current is 10 ampere, the CT has saturated. Now in this case, as the system current increases, we all know the secondary CT will also increase proportionally. But when the CT has become saturated, now there would not be a further proportional increase in the CT secondary current with the increased system current. Now when the CT has become saturated, in this case, if the system current increases here, then we will not be seeing the CT secondary current increment, because the CT has already been saturated earlier. Therefore, from this phenomenon, it is clear that from a trick value to a certain range of faulty level, an inverse time characteristics can be seen. Like for first case we have seen, for second case we have seen, and for the third case we have seen that the relay is showing the inverse time characteristics for different fault currents. But after this the relay will not be showing a inverse characteristics. But as said, after the level of fault, since the CT becomes saturated and the relay current does not increase further, it will remain 10 ampere for any system current. Then as the relay current does not increase further, there would not be a further reduction in time period. This will remain 0.5 second, and this 0.5 second, this is referred as minimum time of operation of the relay. Hence, since the relay characteristics is inverse in initial part, as you can see, 2 second, 1 second, 0. This is inverse characteristics, which is inverse in initial part. But then it tends to a definite operating time, minimum operating time, that is here in this case 0.5 second. Therefore, such type of relay whose characteristics is inverse in initial part and then tends to move to a definite minimum time, then such type of relays is referred as inverse definite minimum time relay, as these are showing the characteristics of inverse. This is the same thing we have referred earlier in the previous slide. the CT becomes saturated and the relay current does not increase further with the increase in the faulty level of the system. That 0.5 second is referred as minimum time of operation in the relay. The characteristics of inverse definite minimum time relay. Inverse time relay is defined into plain inverse, very inverse and extremely inverse. The difference between the plain, very inverse and extremely inverse is that the time of operation is rapid in case of extremely inverse, and in plain IDMT it is very normal. Here are some of the references from where the content of slide has been taken. Thank you everyone. That's it for this video lecture. For more videos, please stay connected and subscribe the channel.